This is Sussex Avenue in Rehoboth Beach, Maryland. Looks very Burlingame-y. It's even almost kind of Northern California, Silicon Valley adjacent. You can see that some of these homes, I actually know some of the owners, are brand new, not quite McMansions, and then other homes are teardowns. You can see the influence of the gay community. There's a little Miata parked there with an Obama sticker on it. Here's a nice sweet little teardown. I love the teardowns and the brand new constructions. Here's some of the brand new construction. This street actually is the street where David Brock owned a house. I think it may not be this block though. I was at a fundraiser at it once that he had to sell. It's been torn down now. He had to sell it to pay hush money to his ex. Not his current ex, the one he just exed from, but the ex before that. He needed the money to pay that guy to shut up because that guy supposedly knew things that would be uncomfortable for Media Matters for America to have revealed, things about its donors and what it does with money, and what it does with money that perhaps it shouldn't in order to keep its tax exempt status as a nonprofit. I also know some people who live on this street who have torn down the teardowns and built a couple of new houses, who were instant America Online millionaires. I actually knew a couple of those in D.C. Here's a little statuary. Anyway, the America Online millionaires, especially gay ones in the 90s and 2000s, would take their stock options that they had turned into stocks and sold off. Over in this direction, I don't know if you can see, that's kind of an estate behind a hedge, is an area called Henlopen that's much nicer even than downtown Rehoboth. But part of the Burlingame character, or the Silicon Valley character of Rehoboth, is that there is a sprinkling, besides all the lawyers and lobbyists. Abramoff actually had a house. In fact, we may walk by it. I think there's going to be time on this tape. That was a lobby. It was his lobby. Then somebody bought it and it turned into a kind of investment, I don't know, a kind of investment group is housed there. But in between, at one point, it was called the Mallard Guest House, and it was a somewhat Tony 3.5 to 4 star. Here we have a giant house for rent at 1 3rd Street. Anyway, the Abramoff house at one point, I forget if it's before Abramoff bought it or after. I think it's before. It was something called the Mallard Guest House. That was one of the many B&Bs in Rehoboth that cater almost exclusively to gay men, with occasionally a This is Bad Hair Day, which is kind of the shishi hair salon, always with a sprinkling of gay people in Rehoboth. Anyway, Mallard Guest House was a B&B that catered to gay men, as was this, which was called something with a C. Oh, Cabana Gardens, and it appears to be for sale. I don't know if that means it will be open or not. This is the Breakers Hotel. It's not very interesting, unless they've changed things. It's one of those weird hotels where there's only Wi-Fi in the lobby. I think that's just criminal at this point. So there's only Wi-Fi in the lobby, and the Wi-Fi, however, if you're in the second floor rooms immediately above the lobby, my tip for you, you can get the Wi-Fi. Across from the Breakers is a little lake. You can see it there, I think. Maybe I'll walk over to it if you can't. They're little bodies of water, little lakes. I don't know what this one's called, that separate downtown Rehoboth. I mean, not completely separate them. There are lots of streets, and then if you just walk around the lake, there are areas where there's no little lake. But separate it from Henlopen Acres to its north, and from the Silver Lake area, both of which are slightly fancier than actual downtown Rehoboth, to its south as you go along the beach. Silver Lake is particularly gorgeous. It's actually much prettier than this, but then it has houses built all around it, and there are I'm going to mispronounce these. I want to say garbanzo and I want to say credenza. I think I'm looking for cupola, but at any rate, they're a little gazebo. That's what I'm looking for. Gazebo. I wasn't raised with gazebos. There are gazebos and docks. Almost everyone has riparian rights. I think this is a condo that we're looking at now. There are docks along Silver Lake. Silver Lake will not be in this tape. I'm not sure if I'm making one. This is a March viewing of Rehoboth, early March, before it's all fixed up. We may actually pass by somebody welding something or hammering something or sawing something as they get ready for the winter. As you can see, we're about 2 blocks from the beach. Lots of stuff for rent for two blocks from the beach, and 1 block from the beach and on the beach. And also, lots of hotels. This is the Breakers again, which if you're in those rooms right there above the lobby, you will have Wi-Fi, but nowhere else. The Breaker is heavy on big families with lots of kids, lots of noise. I always think they're from New Jersey when they are noisy, but that's just my prejudice. Up above you see the water tank for Rehoboth. Here we're on the edge of the gay shopping district, and because I like to keep these videos under 10 minutes, this one's going to end soon. So here we have an interior decorator. It's been here for years. Oh, I did want to get to this though. In fact, maybe I'll stop the tape here and then start it so we'll get this in 2 different tapes. This is the house that the lobbyist Jack Abramoff, can't pronounce that name, Abramoff, his group owned when he was a lobbyist. Looks like now it's for rent, so you could rent the Abramoff house if you'd like to. Anyway, it's for rent, and it was something called the Mallard Guest House at one point. You know, I just realized since it's for rent, I don't think anybody's here. We're just going to go right up and take pictures of it. Oh, well, maybe somebody is here. I don't know. It's got a sweet little porch. Had that when it was a guest house, and I had it when it was like an investment group in between. Oh, you know, somebody may actually live here.